in a situation with a lot of open 16 to 17 footers.
Let's see if O'Neal gets early touches here. Tinsley has to push one with 3 on the shot clock. That's not the shot they were looking at to open up the quarter.
Jermaine O'Neal was posting near the three-point line in the corner.
Jermaine O'Neal, a tough night. For more on him, let's check in with Jim.
Brad, I spoke to Jermaine at halftime, and he said, hey, quite frankly, Brian Grant did a real good job on me in the first half. I know I'm only 1 for 3. My back is not bothering me. It's feeling pretty good. I will make my way through this game. Give him credit. He says, I won't mind ending the game 1 for 3 if we end up winning the game. And finally, over on the other side, I spoke to Bob McAdoo, the assistant coach. He says, our energy level went way down toward the end of the first quarter. We can't walk the ball up court. We're playing right into their hands.
You saw while Jim was giving his report that O'Neal blocked Brian Grant's baseline jumper. Here's Reggie Miller. And the rebound, Caron Butler. Butler is still scoreless. Jones just kind of throws it up, and O'Neal snatches it out of the air. Here comes Reggie, wide open for 3. Boy, he doesn't miss many of those. But Tinsley keeps it alive. Now the pass underneath. And Jeff Foster scores for the first time in the ball game. Much from their all-star Jermaine O'Neal, but Ron Artest and Reggie Miller picked up some of the slack.
And I wanted to applaud what Jermaine O'Neal said after halftime. Because so many people, so many players in this league, they don't want to give credit to their opponent. They want to make excuses and say, well, I was off my game. It was about me. But Jermaine O'Neal rightfully hands the credit over to Brian Grant, because Brian Grant's out there. He's doing everything possible to keep Jermaine O'Neal out of his comfort zone.
Reggie Miller in his comfort zone at the free throw line, where he's nearly automatic. 2 for 2 tonight, 20 of 21 in this series. Got them both. A dozen for Reggie, and the lead swells to 7. That's the biggest for the Pacers tonight.
Yeah, Miami's got to find some energy here. They don't want Indiana building a lead here. They want to keep this crowd into it, keep some momentum going, because they've come out of here in the second half and just have not looked good at all.
The Heat have only 13 points in the last 14 minutes, guys. That's just not going to do it.
Well, they're not shooting the ball well. They haven't shot the ball well the entire game. The only thing that's keeping them close.
That'll help.
Oh. Well, good play, Barry Odin. Looked like he was going to go set the pick and roll, but just slipped it and dove to the basket. It's a set play, and Eddie Jones hit him with a pass, and he finished with authority. And it's the high percentage shot.
Covered a lot of ground there in one stride, didn't he?
Maybe he knocked that lid off the basket with it.
Miller rims one out. Butler with a rebound.
And now you got a play that maybe sparked this Miami Heat team, because they came, like he said, they came out of the locker room moving a step slow.
Wade inside, strong. Too strong off the glass.
Well, I was saying before that Lamar Odom dunk, the thing that's kept Miami in the game are the Indiana turnovers, 12 at halftime.
Artest for 3. The rebound is Wade's on the run. Going down behind the back against Miller. And then leaves it for Butler. I didn't even see him sneak that pass over. I'll be honest with you. Somebody was in my line of view.
That was very tricky.
Now the crowd trying to come back into it. Reggie Miller tried one of those push passes of his, and Odom stole it. Odom is fouled by Foster.
This is exactly what Miami needed, Brad, to get back in the game. Get a couple turnovers, get a nice play on a pass and a dunk. And it brings the crowd back. You see Wade going behind the back and finds the streaking Butler who finishes. Just a great move by a young point guard who's coming into his own here in the playoffs. That's just a pass by a guy who knows how to play.
Odom at the free throw line tonight, 5 of 6. Much better than he was earlier in this series. He has 14 points.
But what sparks the Miami Heat? The turnovers again by the Pacers. Yeah, they need to get out in the open court and run and get as many fast break, easy layups. Because obviously their offense tonight is not helping them with the way they're shooting the ball.
Well, as Stan told Jim Gray, we can't keep walking the ball up or we're not going to go back to Indianapolis. Now they're closer, back to within 1. Artest drives on Butler and drew a foul.
Artest, is obvious that he's worked on his footwork as well as his body. I mean, he's throwing little jab steps inside, out. There he is. Nice little crossover with his feet there. He's using that strength and that quickness. I mean, that combination is scary. This guy's so wide, he's so strong, and to add that quickness on top of it is something else.
Knocks down the free throw, 13 for him. Must be all those beans he eats. His wife, Kamisha, says she has to put beans in almost everything this guy eats. She says it's good for protein.
It is.
Makes me strong.
Beans are good. I'm trying to get you guys away from those 48-ounce porterhouses you keep swallowing down every time we go to dinner.
We have some, Dan has some other issues with the beans.
I'm a Midwest guy, and I eat beef.
You're going to start throwing horns, partner.
2-point game. 8:15 remaining third quarter. Butler still can't find it from the outside. His only basket was inside. Artest on the run. Great pass, and Butler fouls him, and that's 4 on Butler.
Yeah, as soon as Butler released that shot, Artest was gone, streaking down to the offensive end. Received a nice pass, made the layup, and got fouled. See Miller getting the rebound here, getting it out to Tinsley. Perfect pass.
That ball only touched the floor once, and that was Tinsley just to put it down to gather the handle, and then the outlet down to Artest.
And I've watched every game in this series, and those last 2 fouls by Butler, those guys are killing each other, and he calls those little touch fouls.
Yeah, exactly.
Those 2 guys have done extra. They're like a heavyweight fighters just banging each other.
Artest, whose dad was a boxer. He plays like it, doesn't he? Got it. 3-point play for Artest, 4 fouls for Butler, and the lead goes right back to 5. Just when Miami had something working, Artest took over.
Indiana's done a nice job responding.
Wade trying to feed the baseline to Grant. 7 to shoot. Udonis Haslem inside. He's strong off the backboard.
And Foster doing a nice job there in the thick of the competition, the action underneath, coming down with a big rebound.
Each team only 2 field goals this quarter. Ryan Grant picks up his 3rd foul.
Oh, what an excellent pass there by Jamal Tinsley. And you talked about it earlier, Dan, how Tinsley and Wade continue to get in the lane, and there's Tinsley again in the lane area creating havoc.
Yeah, once they break down the defense, they will get in that lane. They're such good passers, and they got guys around them who can finish.
O'Neal with only 3 points, but his team is up by 6.
Tell you what, this Indiana team better be tough, because it's hard to look tough with yellow socks on.
Black shoes and yellow socks. It just wasn't a look that...
I know we're in Florida, but this is ridiculous.
The lead goes back to 7.
I'm worried about you, man, because I didn't notice that.
You should be.
He noticed that in the pregame. He was squawking about it 2 hours before the game. It's hard to miss.
Well, now that you said so.
3 to shoot. Eddie Jones, baseline over O'Neal. Got the roll. Boy, they needed that shot. Indiana had been on a 6-0 run. Artest battling now with Odom. Same matchup, up and under with the left hand off the glass.
That's serious skill right there.
Come on! You gotta want to win! All right, let's go.
That says it all. You got to play like there's no tomorrow, because there won't be.
Eddie Jones got the message. I mean, the way he was working off these screens was amazing. He gave Reggie a little shoulder shake, and granted, he used his left arm, but you watch here. Watch this little shake. I mean, right there, Reggie's going the other way. He's on the other side of the lane. That move was blindingly quick.
The problem was Jermaine O'Neal and Jamal Tinsley were there to steal it. Miller, Tinsley, O'Neal, Artest, and Foster, the starting 5 for the Pacers, are on the floor. And Jones bumps Reggie Miller. In the series against Miami, and it stays that way. 14 for Reggie. Get an all-access look at the NBA playoffs. Tune in to the NBA TV playoff show Destination Finals nightly on NBA TV. Brad Nessler, Dan Marley, Sean Elliott, Jim Gray from Miami, where the Heat are in trouble now, trying to force a 7th game and trailing by 9, their biggest advantage for Indiana tonight so far.
And that's what Wade needs to do. He's been kind of quiet this whole game, and we talked about it in the other games. This has kind of become his team and his city. He's got to put this team on his shoulders right now. He's got the ball in his hands. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to get into the paint and get to the free throw line.
That's asking so much of a rookie.
Yeah, but he's done it, so often in this series, and there it is right there. At home, 29 free throw attempts on the road. That's cut in half, and tonight, that's only his 4th attempt.
It is asking a lot, Brad, but the guy's got such a great ability to get around his guy and get into the paint. And if he's able to do that, it's going to make it so much easier for the rest of the team.
Well, they trust him. There's no doubt about that. Tinsley for 3. Brian Grant with another rebound. Boy, Grant just keeps banging those boards, doesn't he? Wade again.
That's what I'm talking about there, the ability to get in the paint and to convert on tough shots.
He's got 12 now. Slices the lead back to 5.
You see, they brought Jeff Foster over there to run a little high-low, but he doesn't want to shoot that 18-footer.
And now he throws it away to Odom. And Odom's fouled by Miller, who wasn't going to give him a chance to go one-on-one with Artest.
Pacers foul, number 31, Reggie Miller, his 2nd team.
Dwayne Wade, the guys were just talking about him, that he has to take control in the last 2 trips down court he has.
Well, this is a guy's going to have the ball in his hands, bringing it up. It's up to him to be aggressive and to get this crowd back into it.
A 5-point game, just under 5 left in the 3rd quarter. Odom working against Artest. Grant outside jumper. Foster one-hands a rebound. The Pacers slow the pace just a bit. Kevin Frazier and the guys are in the studio. We understand there's something special going on in baseball. We're going to go to that as soon as we get a whistle here in Miami. A runner on the shot clock up and hits the top of the backboard. It'll go over to Miami, and we'll send it over to Kevin.
Brad, something special in the world of baseball. Randy Johnson has thrown the 16th perfect game in regular season baseball history. He becomes the 6th guy with a no-no in 2 different leagues. He had a no-hitter back in 1990 with Seattle, so it's 14 years since no-hitters. But Randy Johnson does it in Atlanta tonight, no-hitting the Braves. Brett.
Perfect game for my partner's neighbor.
Yeah, good for him. I'm real happy for him. He is my neighbor, but it must have been off the soft toss in the winter ball that I had out in the front lawn. So
you said there's nothing like playing catch with Randy Johnson in the backyard.
Well, it's nothing like coming home when you got a Cy Young Award winner living right next to you. So I'm so happy for that guy. He deserves it. He's worked hard to get his knee back, and that's great for him.
Block shot underneath. Outlet pass. I don't know if Jones can track it down. He can't. So just when the Heat looked like they were going to come up with a turnover, they give it right back. Here's another look at the block shot inside by Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, I thought that was a big man for a minute.
It is a big man. Big man on campus. Yeah, I'm glad Randy pitched a perfect game, because if he didn't, he probably would have lost the way the Diamondbacks are hitting.
Yeah, they only gave him 2 runs.
I think the Braves have about 3 hits in the last 2 days, don't they? There's a whistle and a foul. And it's on Dwayne Wade. That's his 2nd. And Jamal Tinsley will go to the free throw line. Tinsley has not had to be a scorer to be a factor so far in the series. His high game was the first one when he had 17. Game 3 he had 16, but mostly it's been as the leader in assists and steals for the Pacers in this series.
And there's no doubt that Indiana's found their point guard of the future.
Yeah, and even he hasn't taken a whole lot of shots, but even when he has, he's at 50% from behind the line, and taking his opportunities when they're there. So he's been big all series, as long as you see him get the steal there.
There's the steal again. So he's had 3 games in a row with at least 3 steals, and he takes that one coast to coast for the lay-in.
How about using his body to keep Dwayne Wade away from the block?
You know, Jermaine O'Neal not only had foul trouble, but he also was thinking back to game 3 in this series when he got posterized
Yes.
by number 3. He said, I'm not going to be in 2 pictures. Not with 2 different color uniforms on. 14 points for Wade. His team's still down by 7, though. Artest is going to go to the free throw line. Artest, the leading scorer in the ball game. And he knocks down the free throw. Here's game 3. Dwayne Wade. That's Jermaine O'Neal. That's why I said you don't want one with a blue jersey last week when we were here. That's for sure. And you got to credit the Pacers. That was their game plan, and so far it's worked as Odom knocks down the free throw. He's got 16. Tomorrow night on TNT, Minnesota and Sacramento will square off in game 7. Decide that one at the Target Center. Friday night on TNT, the Western Conference Finals start game 1 at 9 o'clock. Odom got them both. 17 for Lamar Odom. He leads the way for the Heat. Ron Artest, the top scorer for Indiana. Here they are together, hooked up on the left wing. Odom does a nice job that time. Now he switches off on Bender. O'Neal has not been a factor on offense. Artest got the loose ball rebound, though, and he's fouled again.
He just never gives up on any plays. He stays in there. Even though that play was designed for him, he gives the ball back, and he just continues to search for a way to help his team out. He comes from the far right side there.
This to force game 7 Thursday night in Indianapolis. Otherwise, it'll be the Pacers to wait and see who they'll play, Detroit or New Jersey. Right now, the Heat in the hole with 1:20 left. They're down by 7 as Odom hit quarters. Pacers lead by 7 as we get set to head to the 4th. And we take a look at our Sprite mad skills in this one. A kid that's got a lot of mad skills already, and they're only going to get better and better and better. The rookie, Dwayne Wade, 14 points, number 2 scorer tonight to Lamar Odom on the Miami Heat team. And he's done a variety of things defensively, going to the hole, and has been sensational again tonight. But can he be the man to help carry him the last quarter? Pacers have missed their last 6 shots. Seven on the shot clock. Time winding down. Miami. O'Neal got it away, but the rebound is the Heat's. Alston leaves it for Wade.
Miami continues to make runs, and Indiana just responds playing one-on-one.
Wade knocks down another one.
Uh-oh, this place is about to erupt. Indiana's got to get some ball movement.
O'Neal, double team. Johnson got an open look. Rebound, Miami. A chance for them to lead this trip, and if they do, this place will come apart. Alston for the lead. O'Neal with a rebound.
I mean, 2 different styles right now on the offensive end. Miami, every time they come up, 2 or 3 or 4 players are touching the basketball. Indiana, it's stop and post.
The drought ends by O'Neal there as he goes down in the low block and scores.
One of the few times Jermaine O'Neal's been able to establish good low post position there. A great pass. He's able just to turn and take it to the rack.
That's only his 2nd field goal, guys.
Well, what else I liked about that play, as soon as he caught the basketball, he went right away. He didn't hold it. He didn't allow the defense to get set.
Haslam going up. Whoa. Everything rocking.
He went for the good stuff.
He did. Bender decided to reroute him.
He moved all the rock gut out of the way. He was going top shelf.
Udonis Haslam going up and got rerouted by Bender and O'Neal.
And Malik Allen.
He was going for the gusto. He was going for the gold here.
Dwayne Wade in the 4th quarters this series is 15 of 25. He's 16 of 26. I guess you guys are right. Rookie or not, his shoulders are big enough. Miller doesn't quiet the crowd. Grant the rebound.
Tell you what, I'd be inclined to try to get the ball out of his hands if I was the Pacers. Miami leads!
Points this quarter and giving them their first lead since 5.5 minutes remained in the second quarter. We're wading in high tide, fellas.
Tell you what, yeah, they call this place Miami-Dade. Now, this is Miami-Wade. This guy is not only taking to the rack, now he's starting to pull up and hit jumpers with people in his face, and he's done this all series. Big shots, fourth quarter, this is his time.
You're looking at a bona fide superstar in the making, no question about it.
O'Neal banging with Brian Grant down low, and Grant picks up his fourth foul. Watch Dwayne Wade the last couple of trips. First, the outside jumper, buries it. Then inside with a floater.
And that's an and one, by the way. Got hit on his forearm.
Grant's fourth foul. Let's see if O'Neal can make him pick up his fifth. Not that trip. Harrington picks up the foul. Miami leads by 1 with 8 minutes left. With Dan Marley, Sean Elliott, Jim Gray, I'm Brad Nessler. Miami has warmed up this quarter. They had to. They're facing elimination. Wade again! Wade this one off. And that is 4 on him.
That's Wade just taking what's given to him. He wanted rack. Good job by
Another block shot underneath. Boy, Miami battling under there, not giving up points and blocked 2 shots, and still they don't have possession.
Let's face it, if the ball's loose or bouncing on the rim, there's one guy in Indiana who's going to get it, and that's Artest.
Yes.
If he's around that ball, that's his.
Miller inbounds to Tinsley. Pacers work around the perimeter. Now O'Neal at the free throw line from 15 is short. And Odom's got the rebound.
I know he can shoot that shot, but that's not his strength. His strength is in the low block area. You can't settle for a free throw line jumper in the guts of the game.
Remember, Alston running the point now with Dwayne Wade on the bench, and Reggie Miller pulls off the backside rebound.
And Lamar Odom cannot settle for that shot. He ran a pick and roll. He popped out. He's got to be aggressive and take the ball to the basket.
Well, you start taking shots like that when you get tired and you're worn down.
Lob underneath, Artest off O'Neal's pass.
It takes all the pressure off the
Hitting 64-62. Ron Artest has been an artist again tonight. 25 points, 3 block shots. Playing against Dwayne Wade, as Sean said, he's had his hands full with a rookie. 22 points with 5 fouls. Wade has had to sit the last couple of minutes, and he's not coming out of this huddle either.
Yeah, it's more like mostly cloud.
I'm nervous.
Tinsley for 3. I don't know about that one.
He's got hit one of those. That's his 3rd or 4th one he's taken this quarter and missed.
Jones for the lead. Got it!
And that's the difference right now. You see Tinsley launching long threes. Miami getting the offensive rebound and running right down their throats and taking it all the way to the rim.
Only the second lead of the second half for Miami. Artest. Oh, wow. What a nice finger roll.
Ron Artest is a stud.
I would go to him every time down the floor. There's just no answer for it. They cannot stop him from getting to the paint.
And Caron Butler is not a bad defender. But Ron Artest gives him a little small crossover. Keeps the ball low.
Considering his defensive player of the year, the things we've seen from him offensively in this series, the variety has been remarkable. Odom. Airmailed one to the backside to O'Neal.
Downright mind-boggling, Brad.
Yes, it is, Dan.
Go back to Artest. Here he comes back in the post.
Butler been battling in him all night long. Cuts him off at the baseline this time. Tinsley. Boy, that's a tough shot, and he got that one.
Well, by Artest drawing the double team, they had the defense rotate a little bit. And Tinsley, instead of settling for that three-point shot, got in the lane and made it tough for the jumper.
4 straight points for the Pacers as they regain a 3-point lead now. Jones off balance. He's fouled now in the last couple of minutes, but Indiana won't go away and Artest won't go away.
Well, it's a story of 2 players, Artest on the Indiana end and Wade on the Miami end. Both stepping up their games and unstoppable.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a story of these 2 guys, and really Ron Artest is, I mean, you said I'm not going to be surprised by anything that Dwayne Wade has done. You can say the same thing for Ron Artest. I mean, defensively, he's a monster. We all know that. But offensively, he's here putting on a show again.
Yeah, when I first saw him, I was, in this series, I was very surprised at what he's done on the offensive end, but no more because he's continually doing it every game.
Eddie Jones is at the free throw line, where he is 16 of 17 from the stripe in the series. Missed that one. Sports Center follows us in about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. You figured I had to do it to somebody during the game?
I knew that curse was going to work one way or another. It's too powerful.
Jones got the second. 16 for Eddie Jones. 2-point game. 2:35 left.
I'm not the only one nervous here. I haven't heard a holler from Dan Marley all night.
He snuck one in early.
Must have been a baby one.
It was a tone down. Tinsley got a second chance.
Back on the floor.
Harrington in there for O'Neal. Here's Artest again. No, this time they stop him. Butler out to Wade.
I'm surprised they went so quick. I thought they'd run a little bit of time off the clock.
Wade with a spin move again. And the man of the hour for the Pacers. If you're a Pacer fan, he has been nothing short of brilliant throughout the whole series, but tonight especially tough. And on the other side, it's been the sensational rookie out of Marquette, Dwayne Wade, who's excited us and lit up this Miami crowd and the Indiana crowd, for that matter, throughout the series. And tonight has 24 points. You got to think that he's going to touch it sometime in this possession.
He should own this possession. He should catch the big. They ought to give him the ball in the inbound right away, spread the floor, and let him work his magic.
He's way over in the right baseline right now. Jermaine O'Neal pouring some fake tears in that left eye just to try to see the last 15 seconds of this ball game.
Yeah, a couple things you can do. You go here and try to get a quick 2, or you can drive and kick it out for 3.
Remember, they hit their first 3 of the ball game, and they've missed 11 in a row since. The inbound comes from Butler. Tried to get it to Wade, but he drew Artest, so it's Odom. And Odom tangled up with Foster. And the foul's on Foster.
10, Jeff Foster.
Looks like they ran that play for Odom to call off the screen. If he had a wide open 3, he was going to take it. Decided to put it on the floor, and lucky he didn't get an offensive foul there. Foster's right there moving a little bit. Kicks him and trips him. And
You call
Odom's going to the line.
You call an offensive foul right now, you don't get out of the building alive. No.
That's what Jeff Foster's saying right now.
At line, Lamar Odom.
Odom near perfect from the line tonight. .22 for Odom. Wade looking on. 3-point game. Odom to try to cut it to 2. Not this time. Artest is fouled. And Artest coming the other way. Butler with 5 fouls. Wade and Odom also with 5 fouls. Should this game find an extra stanza?
Yeah, big miss there by Odom. If he makes that shot, it turns it into a possibly a one-possession game. But there's Larry. Done a great job with Indiana, and I'm sure if they get by this series, they got a lot of respect for Miami.
Artest 10 out of 13 from the line. Missed that one. And this is the big free throw. Miami has no timeouts left.
You know, Brad, it's a lot different here when you have 20,000 people, whatever these little paddles battles are. I mean, when I first heard these today, I thought I walked into the rainforest. Sounds like a bunch of bugs flying around.
Artest trying to tie his fate for a career high, but he missed it. Out of bounds to Miami. They still have life. They're down 3, and everybody's looking at number 3.
Well, number 3's out of the game, and I have no idea why.
That's what I mean. Alston's in, though, and he's a great three-point shooter, or has been this year. He lofts it, and misses it, and Reggie Miller throws it in the air, and Indiana has closed out the Heat. And immediately, you've never heard 20,000 people more quiet because, boy, the Pacers know that they had their hands full. They got everything from Miami that they could have expected, and then some. What a great, really a great series.
The Heat have nothing to be ashamed about here. They've done a fantastic job in this series. Even though it's going to say 4-2 in the final standings, it was a lot closer than that.
Let's check in with Jim Gray.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. Jermaine, what happened to your eye and what caused you to come back into the game?
Just wanted to win, you know. I can't really see. You know, I just happened to look up at the score and we're down 2. I just wanted to give what I can give, you know. I try to get some, you know, block some shots, get some.
4 games to 2, 73-70. Don't forget Thursday night at 8 right here on ESPN. New Jersey and Detroit. Game 7. The Survivor meets these Pacers in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals Saturday.